If you're a fan of quality television, you'll probably have heard of Yellowstone. With a batting average of around 10 million views per episode, Paramount's mega-hit cowboy show is all the rage on cable these days. Now, producing a popular TV series is not easy, so you might be wondering how the entire show came together. Here's everything that went into making Yellowstone such a hit. First up, Taylor Sheridan's experience. The first and most important factor in Yellowstone's success is the series showrunner, Taylor Sheridan. Believe it or not, Yellowstone is Sheridan's first ever TV show. Talk about making an impression with your debut. Before this, the writer-director was making acclaimed movies that did well in Hollywood but weren't anywhere near the level of popularity that Yellowstone is currently enjoying. You might have heard of some of them. Sheridan wrote the screenplays for Sicario, which starred Emily Blunt and was directed by director Denis Villeneuve, and Hell or High Water, starring Chris Pine. And he wrote and directed Wind River and To Those Who Wish Me Dead, which had Angelina Jolie playing the lead role. The screenplay for Hell or High Water even nabbed him an Oscar nom. Now that's some serious cinematic pedigree. But what really made him a great fit for TV was his experience as a television actor. That's right, Sheridan's played characters on hit TV shows in the past, including roles on Sons of Anarchy and Veronica Mars. He'd already been a part of the world of television and knew the ropes. That's probably why Paramount gave him a straight-to-series order for the first season of Yellowstone. Next, we have Kevin Costner's star power. Kevin Costner rarely shows up on the small screen. The legendary actor is known for his movie roles, and he's got some iconic parts on his resume, from winning 2 Oscars for Dances with Wolves to staring down Robert De Niro in The Untouchables. The actor has enjoyed a pretty iconic career. It's all thanks to that street cred that Yellowstone piqued the interest of Western fans. Yellowstone is only Costner's second recurring TV role, and it was the first time he committed to a project that wasn't just a miniseries. It definitely wasn't the first time he was appearing in a Western though, and fans knew the actor had great taste in the genre. After all, one of his breakout roles was in the Western Silverado, and he followed that up later with quality films like Wyatt Earp and Open Range. At the end of the day, Paramount knew the draw of having a star like Costner join the show, and they also knew Sheridan's work was going to be appealing enough to sign him up, and that's exactly what happened. Now for the fan-favorite characters. So Paramount had a quality showrunner in Taylor Sheridan and a bankable star in Kevin Costner, but they knew that wasn't going to be everything. One of the most important elements of any successful TV show is an engaging cast of characters that keeps viewers invested in the story, and the studio had just that with the full Dutton family. There's the patriarch of the clan, John Dutton, a rich and powerful widower who Costner plays like a pro, but the entire Dutton household is filled with fan favorites. Each of John's 3 kids has a fascinating personality. Kelly Riley's Beth is feisty and unpredictable, while Wes Bentley's Jamie wants to be a politician. The oldest is Luke Grimes' Case, a former Navy SEAL who's John's favorite and way more dangerous than he looks. There are also super interesting characters like Rip Wheeler, Jimmy Herdstrom, and Thomas Rainwater, each of whom have their own side stories to keep viewers hooked. The actors are all accomplished, and what's more, Sheridan makes sure to keep peeling back the layers on each character. He definitely gives each performer a ton of material to work with each season, and that's a huge part of what keeps viewers tuning in for each and every episode. Up next, an authentic Western. Yellowstone's secret sauce, though, is how authentic it is to the Western genre. You've got bloody shootouts and heaps of family drama, sure, but the show also dedicates itself to a detailed depiction of the cowboy way of life that's unlike anything else on TV right now. The producers put real rodeo stars and cowboys on screen. The sets are all on location in Montana, and there's next to no CGI going into any of the episodes. This is as real as it gets. That level of authenticity is another huge reason behind the phenomenon that is Yellowstone. Fans love the insight into the Western way of life that the show gives them, and the painstaking attention to detail definitely isn't lost on viewers. Popular YouTube videos break down each episode upon release, and Yellowstone-themed merchandise is everywhere online. You can even find everything you need to cosplay as the show's characters. Honestly, TV series only get this popular if the crew is as devoted to making the show as the viewers are to watching it, and the passion of the Yellowstone team definitely shines through the screen. And this phenomenon is not showing any signs of stopping. Now for a promising future. Paramount knows they've got a phenomenon on their hands, and they're building on it like crazy. The studio has already developed 3 new spin-off series. 2 of those are prequels. There's 1883, which came out late last year and stars Sam Elliott, and another called 1932 that's already cast Helen Mirren and Harrison Ford as the leads. The third is titled 6666, and no, it isn't set in the the future. The title actually refers to the Four Sixes Ranch that appeared in Yellowstone Season 4, and the show will be set in the present day. Yellowstone's still going full steam ahead too. Season 5 is currently in production, and Coster's promising that the crew's still got their feet down on the gas pedal. Fans just can't get enough, and Paramount is definitely making sure they keep up with demand. That way, Yellowstone stays in the conversation and remains the massive phenomenon that it is. Next, in other news, Our Flag Means Death Season 2 in the works. Our Flag Means Death is coming back for Season 2, and it looks like filming is about to begin. According to star and executive producer Taika Waititi, the new episodes are all set to begin filming in October, and the news has got us seriously hyped. The pirate rom-com starring Taika Waititi and Rhys Darby has garnered critical acclaim and generated a pretty big fan following. To boot, it marks the third time the two actors are working together after What We Do in the Shadows and Hunt for the Wilder People. This time around, filming will take place in New Zealand instead of Los Angeles to make the ocean set scenes easier to produce. That might just be an excuse though, seeing as Waititi just loves to shoot in his home country. All things considered though, New Zealand is a great place to make any kind of TV project, and we can only see the show improving with the change in setting. We might just need to rewatch the first season to prep for it though. And now, Dead Boy Detectives hires new showrunner. Dead Boy Detectives, HBO's trippy new detective show, has got a new showrunner, and fans of CW's Arrow or Netflix's Sweet Tooth should definitely start paying attention. Beth Schwartz has signed on to serve as the show's executive producer and co-showrunner alongside Steve Yockey. Schwartz last worked on the final 2 seasons of Arrow and the first season of Sweet Tooth, so things are looking pretty promising for Dead Boy Detectives. The series is reportedly going to be dark in tone and will explore themes such as death and grief. That makes sense since it's based on characters that first appeared in Neil Gaiman's creepy Sandman comics. They aren't having any crossovers with the Netflix's Sandman show though, so expect this to be its own thing. Fingers crossed that it'll be worth the wait. Next up, Jensen Ackles reflects on Supernatural's series finale. You probably know that Supernatural is coming to an end, and one of the show's stars is promising a heartbreaking ending for CW's longest-running TV show. Star Jensen Ackles commented on his run on the show in a recent interview, and he says the finale of Supernatural's 15th and final season is going to a sad goodbye that the show really earned. It's not all doom and gloom for Supernatural fans though. A prequel series called The Winchesters is going to premiere this fall, though Ackles and Jared Padalecki won't be returning for that. Instead, you can catch Ackles in Season 3 of The Boys, but don't be surprised if he makes his way back to the role of Dean Winchester at some point. Anything's possible on Supernatural. Finally, American Rust picked up by Amazon. Showtime may have canceled American Rust after just 1 season, but it looks like the series is going to have a second life on Amazon's free ad-supported streaming service, Freevee. That means Amazon's going to be financing a second season, and fans of the show will definitely be super relieved to hear that it's not dead. American Rust is an adaptation of Philip Meyer's novel of the same name, and it's a pretty gritty, authentic look at rural America. It stars Jeff Daniels and Maura Tierney, and the story follows a police chief whose stepson is accused of murder. The show might not have gotten its time in the spotlight during Season 1, but Amazon Freevee might just be the perfect place for more people to discover the show. That's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.